May the words of my mouth and the meditations of all our hearts be ever pleasing in your sight, O God, our strength and our Redeemer. Amen. So this is an iconic story. I think we all have heard this parable before. And it's a story that starts the same way as most stories of Jesus start. The Pharisees and scribes are creating trouble. They're saying, Jesus, why are you eating with these people? And of course, Jesus responds as Jesus always does, not with a direct answer, but with a parable. This parable has inspired books on its own. It's been picked up in movies, it's inspired music. It has been looked at by scholar and theologian many times over. And I imagine all of you have heard a sermon or two on the Prodigal Son before. Which makes it kind of hard to preach on, because what else do you add to all this? To the music, to the movies, to the stories, to the sermons that have already been preached. This has been looked at so many times. What else could possibly be said? I mean, you're still getting a sermon. But how do we look at it in a new light? How do we look at it as relevant to our church and our culture today? Well, like we said, the story starts, like all good stories do in the Bible, with the Pharisees and the scribes poking at Jesus, saying, why are you eating with those tax collectors and those sinners? They're bad people. That's the subtext, you're eating with them when you should be eating with us. Because they're bad. They sin. They do all the wrong. And we're the ones who follow the rules. So shouldn't we be the ones getting the attention of the Son of God on earth? And Jesus then tells them the parable. A man has two sons. One son decides he wants to go away. He wants to take his inheritance and move off. And so he does. And the other son stays behind and dutifully takes care of the business and the farm and his father and his family, while the other son is off gallivanting, having fun, running out of money. Eventually that son becomes destitute, and he finds he needs to come back to his family. He finds that he has done wrong, and he wants to repent. And so he heads back. And even while he is far off, his father sees him, and his father runs to him. In joy, in love, he runs and embraces this son who had wronged him, the son who took half his property. But he welcomes him back in love. And not only that, he says, kill the fatted calf, give him a robe, give him a ring. We must celebrate. For my son who was lost is here again. And of course, this doesn't make the other brother very happy. Because again, he's been dutiful. He didn't squander the money. He's been helping, he's been building, he's been doing everything the father wants. And he doesn't understand why this son, this prodigal son, should get all this attention, all this praise. But it mirrors what Jesus was talking about with the Pharisees and the scribes. It mirrors our understanding that God's grace is eternal. And that God's grace is going to come to those sinners who come back to the fold, to those who reach out to Christ, and that maybe the people that need God's attention aren't the people who are following the rules, but the people who have been breaking them. That image of the Father running to the Son is such a beautiful reminder of God's grace and God's action in our lives. That no matter what, no matter how far we go away, no matter what we squander, no matter what we do, if we turn back to God, God will always run to us and not turn us away. God will embrace us. And God will say, I'm so glad that you are back here again. And God won't hold those things of the past against us. God won't say, well, you did this, so you have to do this. No, God will just say, welcome home. You are loved. But that sermon's been preached many times. And what does this reading have to do with us today in our context? Because as I was looking at it, I kept thinking of the Father, and the idea that the Father didn't just welcome the Son back, but the Father also sent him out. The Father didn't argue when the Son said, I want half my property. The Father didn't say, no, you're not allowed to go. No, I'm not doing that. You're not ready. The Father equipped his Son to go out. The Father said, here's what you asked for. Go live your life. I've given you all that I can. And when we look at our church today, do we do the sending? We're good sometimes at the welcoming, of embracing people when they show up. But do we equip people to go out? Or do we get mad at people when they leave? One thing I've noticed in the church, and I'm talking broadly of the wider church here in all of my experiences, not just here at Redemption. But as we face struggle, as people disappear, as the church turns inward on itself, one way that comes out, or one way that that inward focus shows up, is when it comes to the sacraments. Baptism, communion, first communion, confirmation. Because usually at these times, baptism, first communion, confirmation, when families start coming out of the woodwork that may not have been in church for a couple weeks, or months, or years. And they come back and they say, we want God here for this moment in our family's life. But then there's the inevitable grumbles that I've heard before of, well, where were you? What are you doing? You disappear and you expect us to just welcome you back? You expect to be able to have a confirmation here? You haven't been coming. We turn in to that older brother. We turn in to the Pharisees, saying, well, maybe we should make a requirement. I've seen this in many churches. They're like, well, you have to be a member for a year before you can have baptism here. Or you have to attend this many services. Or we should put a fee on it. That'll work. Make sure people know they're serious about it. We want to set up a roadblock. Well, we should be celebrating. These people have come back, and even if it's only for a moment, even if it's only for a baptism, they're here and they want God. So we're going to give it to them. Not that it's ours to give. But we're going to administer those sacraments. We're going to welcome that family because we don't know how the Spirit will move, and we're just glad at the idea that these lost people have come back to us. And if they do go away, we're going to send them away knowing that we've encouraged their faith. That we've welcomed them into our family, and we've equipped them to go out into the world with whatever they have to maybe be welcomed by another father, another community, somewhere else. We have to be good at both the welcoming and the sending. We have to understand that the church's world has changed. People don't come every week anymore. That's normal. I'm not saying don't come to church, but I am saying that we should celebrate every time someone comes through that door, no matter what. We should celebrate every time someone wants God, every time someone wants a sacrament, every time someone wants to encounter that Father running to them, saying, you are forgiven. So we will be that welcoming place. We will live out that welcome. We will try and be like the God that loves us unconditionally. And we'll stumble, and we'll struggle, and we'll still feel like the older brother every now and then, going, we put in all the work, where were you? But we will celebrate. Because if people come in here and you're grumbling, they're not coming back. But if people come in here and experience the love of God, if they experience warmth and fellowship, and God's forgiveness.